Welcome back to the Dragon's Tome. I'm your host, Jack, and with me are my good friends. We have Rob and Pat. Say hello, everyone.
Hello,
I'm Rob.
I'm Rob.
And
It's
he's Rob.
Spartacus. It's Spartacus.
Okay, we are the Dragon's Tome, and we are going to be looking at uh, issue 75 of Dragon Magazine. A nice
Ooh.
summer edition with a nice summer cover. What do you guys think about this cover for this month?
I feel like we took a way step back in the time machine on this one.
It's Jack Crane. Yeah, it reminds me of Sierra Argonis.
There's a lot going on here, and it's very, very busy.
I think it's the dog that reminds me of Sierra Argonis.
I will say that I'm very glad that they have allowed what do they call those water creatures? Soggenins, to enjoy an inner tube, even though he came from the beach.
Because you see his little footprints.
Yeah.
And you see his little towel with his sword. It's fun. It's fun. It's like full of Easter eggs, but it's not the high quality we've been used to recently.
No, and then this is, I can't tell if this is a giant frog or some kind of sea monster coming at him.
Uh, it's probably both.
Oh, it's a giant frog sea monster.
Yeah. Well, so mixed review for this here cover.
I'm sure there's more like in jokes that we just don't get with these
I'm
people
sure there
lying
is too.
down and
I mean, like the wizard looks like he's laying on a tarot card.
or it's a Tool album, one of the two. And there's looks like a dwarf and a maybe an elf. I can't see any ears, but no, he's got a Viking helmet, so he's probably a fighter of some sort.
Yeah, and I'm assuming this guy's a half orc in the water.
Oh, is that what he's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Hmm.
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 Okay. Well,
Well, there you
that
go.
is that is the cover. Why don't we start with the articles? Rob, why don't you let us begin?
Okay. We're gonna go to page. Which one should we start with here? Let's go to page 55. I think
Ooh, that's not one of mine. I thought for sure
55.
we were stepping on each other's toes.
56. It's actually 56. Even Orcish is logical, and there's two language lessons in this thing, and I just like to quickly say it right off the bat here. I didn't read them because they're language things, and it's all about like consonants and vowels and how to speak Orcish correctly. And the second one is about naming things, I think, and it's all about phonemes, and I'm like, have we learned nothing from Thieves' Cant article? Have we learned nothing?
Okay, I will say we have because we didn't end up with two different dictionaries.
There was no dictionaries, but there was definitely like crazy long articles about naming things and speaking Orcish, and I shall not have it. And there is a dictionary in the
It's
Orcish one.
Clyde Heaton. It's not a full blown one. It's just a
No,
couple.
but I don't want to know how to say armor in freaking Orcish.
Are you sure? It might save your life one day.
Oh, you could say wine. It's a tagrat. So you have to know.
Gandan.
Clyde
Warlord.
Clyde
Joktar.
Clyde Heaton is no J.R.R. Tolkien.
No.
He's
Uh,
not a.
Even in Tolkien, that annoyed me, frankly.
Oh,
So
bold.
yeah, that was my first one, just to be annoyed by more language articles that nobody will ever use because nobody's gonna speak Orcish at the table.
Well, I don't know. I'm playing with some really in depth. You know who would be speaking Orcish? Are the people who speak Tolkien Elvish.
Like you said though, Tolkien's got it's got a history about it. This is just no, I shan't have it. That's my first article.
Okay, well, not an in-depth review, but
Nope.
certainly
I lashed out.
Rob Rob
Passed
mentioned
out.
an article. Pat, how about you? What do
Yeah,
you
I
what do you
mentioned
got
it.
going on?
I'm going to continue with my uh, traipse down Science Lane, and we'll go down to page 8.
I thought so.
And let's learn about the ecology of the mimic.
Mimic.
I still like the fact that these are still written as a scientific journal or someone teaching a class. But apparently there's 2 types of mimics. I didn't know there were 2 types of mimics. There's the dumb that just eat everything, and then there's the ones who like to bargain for food.
I didn't know there's 2 types of mimics either.
Yeah, well, if you had read The Ecology of the Mimic from the journals of Marilyn the Scholar.
It's Ed Greenwood.
Yes. And
This is the
his prescience for in-depth.
Always in character articles. He likes doing those.
I do like them, though. I do. It adds to the flavor a little bit if we're talking about fantasy magazines.
Well, especially if it's just a quick. It's like a 1 page, I think, too, isn't it? Nice and quick.
I don't think they're more than 2 pages.
Yeah, so it's nice and.
If
it was a 10-page article written in like Len. Was it? No, I think it was Greenwood before he did a real.
Yeah, he's got some long ones and he's got some nice short ones.
Yeah,
that's
so
for
sometimes
sure.
It's like, okay, I'd like the information, but please don't be in character the whole time.
Well, he does have one in this article.
Yeah.
In this magazine. He even talks about how these things move and how they maintain shape and change their colors by shunting their type of blood through their capillaries. It gets a little bit scientific, and it's real.
Well, that's the whole point of these ecology ones, right? They try to be like real with them. So
yeah. So again, it was just a nice little read. This one was only actually 1 page. It was just a 1 page, so it was really nice.
Yeah.
It's almost like a little bit of fiction, but it's giving a backstory. I've never heard reference of multiple types of mimics or whatnot, whether that continues on or if you could say in the story itself, well, one of the scholars was wrong. That's not true, but
yeah,
the mimic, a classic creature. You can't go wrong.
It's not a classic picture of one. It looks more like I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what he's doing. Is his hand stuck to it or something?
His hand.
Yes, because one of the things about mimic is when you open a mimic, you get stuck to it.
It looks like he's trying to shove something into the mimic like it's a garbage can.
Well, he's pulling it back, and he's pulling the mimic.
I understand, but it looks like he's like, "Oh, get that garbage into this mimic can."
Yes.
It does look like he's trying to push something.
Why won't you fit my large drink?
Yeah, my log. Why aren't you? My log won't fit in this garbage can. Because it does look like a garbage can, also just the shape of it. So.
Yes. Like a little waste paper basket.
Because we're used to seeing mimics as like actual
treasure chests.
Treasure chests. Yeah, that's like the classic mimic, right, with the teeth and everything. So. This one's just like got a tentacle and he's getting something shoved into him. So.
Well, I think he's getting upset that he's getting something shoved in him, so he's about ready to give him a right hook.
This isn't the first time I'll mention hentai.
It could be if you really wanted to not ever mention it again.
Maybe the first time this week, but it'll come up next week, I think.
Okay, well then I will insist we move on to my article, which if you guys wouldn't mind following me to page 40.
Oh,
PDF page 40.
This is definitely one of mine too. Yep. Lou Pulsifer again.
Let's all jump on it.
Jack loves it.
We're all going to talk bad.
Jack loves Lou Pulsifer. It's his best.
There's a ton of information here. There's more than enough room for all of us to.
That's true.
Jump on. The broad strokes is the procedure and style and tips for GMing. Some of them are so dirt simple you wouldn't think need to be mentioned, but we're early days still. We're,
Well, it's almost 11 years in. I wouldn't call it early days anymore.
I would feel like these are just all common sense when it comes to gaming.
Not all of them, but they are. Some of them are just crazy. But I said they're good. They're good common sense things. It's good to put them on paper. He just goes into real depth at every single one. Like he's just.
Well, I think, what is it, 3-4 pages?
Well, I think it's more than that because it goes all these ones, and then it goes to his what's the other second set was
Well, yeah, there's the procedure guidelines, and there was a whole set of
what's
Style guidelines.
Style guidelines. Yeah, so it's like 6 pages, I think. So it's crazy. You have anything else to say about Jack? Because I have some words of wisdom.
Well, yeah. So I did the broad strokes. What do you guys think about the article? What is it that Lewis did
He's
or
only Lou.
didn't do
He's
right?
only Lou now. He's gone down
He's
to Lou.
Lou.
Oh,
We know him as Lewis because we knew him when he was a
Yeah.
little kid. But
Because we're old school.
we're old school Dragon Magazine guys. But it seems to me that he, as a DM, he seems to hate his players a bit, or they cheat all the time. Maybe they deserve to be hated, because he really goes off on like, oh, they're gonna try to cheat all the time. They're gonna try. I'm like, as a player, I've never tried to cheat. But then later on, he goes into. He also seems to hate his DMs also, because he seems to think that they're gonna screw him over too. So I think he just has a bad group. That's what I'm thinking. Poor Lou. He might just have a bad group.
I get that feeling too, because when I was reading, I'm thinking, so these are all common sense, and I don't know how another way to play. But then he starts to hammer the other side of the coin. And I'm like, oh, what's going on?
He goes both ways, and yeah, he has disdain for them, because it seems like don't pursue vendettas and don't have favorites, and it's like, yeah, obviously, but it seems like he's been in groups that both of those things have happened. And yeah, or players pushing him around, like I don't know, it seems to me that this is like a learned
He might be.
stuff,
Maybe he's got one of those rules lawyer guys, because I've played in a couple games. I've had a couple.
Yeah. He does seem like his
starting
players,
out with a new group, and then I get a guy who's
just a
all
dick.
about the rules, lawyers, and he just makes the character that can't be beat per the rules.
Yeah,
But this is role playing. I make the rules.
yeah. But overall, I think it's a good article. I just think he really, really has his own personal opinions shoved into these good ideas. If you just read all the the highlighted headlines, I think you just stop there, and you'll like, oh, okay, yeah. Don't let players push you around. Be consistent. Don't stonewall.
Yeah,
Like, you just read those. That's good.
Or just give me one paragraph.
Yeah. Yeah, like the actual points are good. I think he just goes on for way too long. Like we do.
yeah. Like exactly. Okay, well, that was my article. I guess we're gonna have to start from the top again.
It's back to me, right?
It is.
I got quite a few. I got quite a few quick hits in this one. I don't have very many like long ones, but I'm gonna go to page. I think it's page 5. It's the oot on a limb, as us Canadians say.
Oot.
It's a PBM problems, and this is the one of the. I think it's last issue or a couple issues ago. 74, I think it was, wasn't it? It says
we read this. I think we talked about this play by mail thing.
Yeah, where the guy was just reviewing all the play by mail things. But Universe 2 or Universe 3 or whatever this is, the guy responds. I guess he gave him a bad review, and he's just like, no, this guy never played the game. Like, half the stuff he says isn't in the game. Like, he's really goes off on him. Plus, they had the wrong address, which I think is inexcusable. And not just for that one. For 2 different games, they had the wrong address. So, that's kind of hard to play by mail if you give the wrong address out. But, Mike Gray, I think, who wrote the article, didn't do his due diligence, according to at least to these two people. And good old Kim, though, he doesn't usually jumps on these kind of people and said screw you, but this time he was very like, okay, sorry this happened. We never got a word back from Mike yet, but you know, we'll make sure we print your correct address, and they let them air their grievances, which I think was pretty magnanimous of Kim Mohan, which he's not usually magnanimous. So yeah, and let's just say there's a follow-up to this next week, so be prepared. It seems to me that the used to be like the letters would be like, oh, in issue 38 and we're on like 40 something. It would, but now it's like issue 74 and 75 to get response.
They're getting
yeah, like how it's quick, so you don't forget what. Because there was a few times where like, what was that about? But this one's gonna be like, oh yeah, that was this last week. So fun. So that was my quick play-by-mail problems. And it seems Universe 2 and 3 are not as bad as Mr. Gray made out to be. But who's going to play by-mail?
Or are they?
Or are they? That is the question.
Yeah, I don't know the difference between 2 and 3 is, other than...
I think...
and I.
I. Yeah, they just do iterations, I guess, as the rules get updated. It seems to me the way they describe these playable mails, it's very loosey goosey. It's like it's not clear what's going on. That's as we'll get into next week. So there you go, Jack. That was my another quick hit.
Well, Pat, what do you got? What's your number
All
2?
right. Well, here's my last article because number 2 was beyond the rule booklet, but I'm going to dive into probably the biggest article in this friggin' magazine.
I hope you're picking the right one.
We're going to go to page 18.
Yes, good, because I wanted someone to talk about this, because I really want to talk about that art. Larry Elmore, people. I think it's our first piece of Larry Elmore in Dragon Magazine.
Oh, it's a black and white.
The moment I saw it, I was like, that's Dragonlance, Larry Elmore. Like it was so like clearly him.
Yeah.
So this is the Nine Hells by Ed Greenwood.
Part 1.
Part one. Yeah. Part
Yeah,
two
they actually
is
say it in the letter or the editor's section. They're like, it was so long, we had to split it up.
Yeah. I mean, as Ed would do, he's either got really nice short articles or he's got really long ones.
Like this could be literally a book. Like
This was yes, and this is him fleshing out something that Gary Gygax had already put out. So he just put even more into it, and it goes really in depth. I mean, he breaks down every layer of hell, including the ruler of that plane and their followers and the armies that they lead in that section of that plane.
Yeah, because we didn't get to it yet, but Gygax in the Sorcerer Scroll is previewing Monster Manual 2, and it has a lot of demons or devils, or I don't know which one which. But so Greenwood just kind of took those and expanded on, like, it was like short little blurbs at Gygax, and he just went, okay, I'm just gonna go crazy and really explain every single little thing.
Yeah, I mean, he goes to the first 5 in this part 1, and it's the name, and then what you're going to see is in there, and then he breaks down all the major devils in there, like the dukes of that place, the greater devils, even the name of the devil who runs that plane.
I was just scrolling through, and one's called Cosby.
Cosby.
Which plane are you on?
That was it's on page 33. It's a princess though. It's not.
Oh,
it must be. What's her name?
Denise Crosby.
Yes. Or I was thinking Lisa Bonet.
I mean, it was a long read, trust me, and I enjoyed it because this kind of the Nine Hells kind of is always, I thought, would be a nice place to throw a heavier character, higher level character at some point in the campaign.
It is something that's like a standard, right? Almost everybody eventually fights a bunch of demons. It's just something that happens in D&D.
Yeah.
So if you have to go to their realms, Ed's got you covered.
So, but it is, I don't know, what is it, 15 pages?
There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot.
Indeedly do.
Stygia is the last one before there's Cosby. Yeah, I mean, it's not a horrible article, but there's a lot to it. So if you are into that or want to bring the Nine Hells into your campaign, there's a lot of info there to get you going and really flesh it out for yourself.
And that's only part 1.
Yeah.
That's only part 1. Next week, part 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I guess it's my turn. Why don't we go for my last very quick little quick toe dip into an article. Let's go to page 36.
Oh, Gamma World.
Gamma World this is Mutants, Men, Machines by Roger Moore, and I'm only going to highlight.
Why did I didn't know this was Gamma World? I just kind of glanced at this and thought it was like a new monster manual.
It's Gamma World Monster Manual.
I just want you to look at the High Dragon, which is a mutated diamondback rattlesnake in the Gamma world that has turned into a Hydra.
Well, it's definitely found in many places in the desert of the Southwest North America.
I think the picture's pretty dope, and I think
Mhm.
the idea is pretty dope. And I didn't play Gamma World, I don't believe, but that's a pretty scary looking monster.
I'd be
Ooh, there's
scared of it. This
look at
thing's armor
this
class 3.
Cybernetter. That looks cool too.
It's
All
Well,
got
good.
five. It's got 5 to 30 attacks.
I love how the art in all of these is great. Like each one has a pretty much a piece of art. So
the, the
One thing I do remember about Gamma World, and I still like that it's still here, is that it shows you the original stock the creature came from before it mutated.
mm.
It's listed in the thing.
Yeah, yeah. It shows you different mutations they can have, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There's quite a few. Nitrogen. Ooh, nitrogen. I just got it. That's funny.
yeah, hydrogen, the hydrogen, the ray is radium, the
Cyclopatron.
yeah. So yeah, that's I just wanted to highlight a really neat picture and a pretty fearsome looking monster. Uh, Rob, you said you had a few. Why don't you take us on a little journey?
Well, I think this is my last one now. I do my quick hits.
Okay.
I already implied it before, but it's on page 10 maybe.
Okay.
Sorcerer Scrolls. It's Gygax previewing Monster Manual 2. So Monster Manual 2 is on the horizon. It's coming soon. So it's all the different devils. He's got quite a few here. I also want to say, what the hell's with these pictures? Why would they just like photocopy like a part of the book in like some blue background? It's weird.
Well, I think that's what it is. I really think this is a scan.
Yeah,
Because
so I mean,
that other chart is a horrible
yeah,
cover.
but why would you not just print it out? Like, why would you photocopy a piece of the book? It looks terrible. Yeah, the other one you can't even read at all. It's just black. But yeah, weird choice. Weird choice, editors. Weird choice. But yeah, just a bunch of the demons coming in a Monster Manual 2. I'm not as familiar with Monster Manual 2 as 1, because I don't know if I ever had 2. I always had 1. And the later ones, obviously. But a lot of famous devils. Mephistopheles, Moloch.
I remember the pictures of these, and they were some of the more interesting. They were very well done. I can picture the beard devil. I can picture I can in my mind. They were pretty iconic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's classic stuff here. But yeah, he just goes through them all like he always does. And yeah, I'm just excited about Monster Manual 2 coming soon. We'll see ads, I'm sure, pretty soon if we're already talking about it. And it is funny to, as Ollie see, because by the time I was into D&D, all this stuff was already out. So it's just funny to see it coming out
This
over time.
Monster Manual 2 is when I started to drift away a little bit as a GM and started focusing more on Shadowrun.
Classic.
That early.
Yeah, we'll probably start seeing those kind of games soon. Yeah, I don't think I have. Do I have any more articles? I don't think so. So let me look at my notes. Nope, I got some ads though.
I got an ad.
And I have an ad. So why don't we do a Pat, me, Rob ad a palooza to wrap
Okay.
this bad boy up.
Let's go to page 79.
79. I thought you'd choose this one.
Yeah.
You like your little spaceships.
And it's miniatures for Star Frontiers, the other RPG game from TSR that I used to play.
It says actual size, so it's hard to tell on a PDF, but yeah, it looks small if it's actual size.
So
but I do like the painted versions. They look great. Like that's really good paint job for the time. Like for the spaceships, they look good.
Yeah.
Nice
Especially that
clean.
red.
Yeah, it's nice and clean.
And nice little lines on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, I guess it's TSR Hobbies is making their own figures here now.
Yes. Well, that may be one of my ads.
That would probably be my ad.
All right, Jack, what do you got then?
Well, since it's my turn and we just discussed them, if we could go to page 30 and 31, because it's like a combo situation.
Yep. All new Advanced Dungeons & Dragons miniatures.
Miniatures.
Yep, TSR's making their own miniatures, which is interesting. I don't remember the TSR miniatures, but
I don't remember them either. Actually.
That's why I was gonna broach this.
Oh, wait, I do remember them now. I didn't put two, I just kind of lumped these in with the Ralph Partha boxes.
They're not.
No, they're not because, but they.
You recognize the actual red box with the
I
covers?
red box and I remember the TSR logo in the corners.
Yeah. But 2 color ads. Is that an owlbear?
Yes.
Anything you have to say about this ad, Jack?
Yes, they come out pretty strong. The first ad talks about a complete line of accessories, paints and brushes and adhesives, and they've got plans for Star
The Frontiers, Metal
Frontiers
Miniatures.
and D&D, AD&D. I don't remember any TSR miniatures or anything like that.
I can't think of that long.
Actually, if you go to Games Plus, they have some of these boxes for sale there.
But I don't think they go through the line as much as they imply they're going to. They probably realize very quickly it's expensive to make your own miniatures. They're like, just license it back out to Ralph Partha or one of those people.
I guarantee you that's where it went because productions of molds, the cost of making a mold.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, especially metal miniatures back then.
Yeah, then you have to have your own spinner. Ugh.
And the molds, metal miniatures kill molds pretty quick, I think, too. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's fun. I never noticed that the hand from one article goes into the other. It must be a two-page spread.
Oh, yeah.
I never noticed that until just
It
now.
is a two-space spread. I didn't realize it was Rob Halford pointing at someone.
With the metal glove. Yes. And once again, their actual size. They seem small. It's hard to tell, but I'm looking at my screen, and I would think that's about the size of a regular magazine, and they look like halflings. Like, they look real small. I think they're probably 20 millimeter or...
True 25?
Yeah, 25.
I think they're 28s.
No, I don't think they're 28s.
I think they just look small.
No, I don't think they're 28s at all. I think I remember getting the original Shadowrun miniatures, and they were teeny. They were like 25s, so I bet that's...
No, but I think those are 28s. I mean, what we're used to is not 28, though.
Yeah, it is. I'm used to 28s. Now it's like 35s or whatever, but...
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
These look very small. That's all.
Because I have some of the Ralph Partha ones, and they're... I mean, maybe a little bit bigger than these.
That's... A little bit bigger at this scale is a big difference. That's all.
I think it's just a picture, though. I don't think it's the...
They say the figures are actual size.
But the picture itself is not proportioned.
Well, that's what I'm saying. On my screen, it's the size of a magazine.
I just zoomed in to 125, and now they look right. So that's why
I'm at 125, and they still don't look right to me.
Oh, okay.
Like, they look small. I don't even know where my Shadowrun miniatures are.
I'm going to buy a box, and I'm going to show you wrong.
I think they're small. And, yeah. So, the scale creep is real. That's all I'm saying. What 28? It was 25 originally, and then it went to 28. Then it went to 30. Now it's 32 and 35. It's going up and up and up. So, anyways, I have another ad, Jack. If I'm allowed.
Let us have it.
Page 81. It's it's the Gamer's Guide.
I noticed my dice one is missing.
Your dice, your wand?
Yeah.
It was in here somewhere. I saw it. I thought you were going to mention it. But this one's the every game you play deserves a fair shake. The dice device. Is this the original dice tower? That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, yeah.
Because the way to describe it's like it's a brand new invention, and it's just a dice
tower.
Well,
it says Pat pending in the corner.
But it's just a dice tower. Yeah, they don't call it a dice tower. They call it a dice device. So is this the original dice tower?
This might be the first dice tower.
Yeah, that's crazy, eh? Once again, you'd think that's something so ubiquitous, but it's kind of fun. Yeah, 15 square inch display area. That's where they roll into. Speeds up the game.
That's a long. That's huge.
Long. Yeah.
That's over a
This
foot.
thing's huge. I think it's made out of wood too.
Oh yeah, he goes into great details about what it's made of and.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dice device. Speed up your game and your fun. Rich walnut, yeah, decorated finish. Rugged, handcrafted wood. But that's pretty amazing. That this the first dice tower. Now everybody has dice towers. If you use them or not.
Yeah.
Everybody has them. And it's you don't lose your dice. It's a great idea. I wonder if we're gonna have like dice trays. Is that a new invention?
You, you, kn- you know when it's the game's been around long enough that the peripherals start to get a little more and more nonsense, a little less and less, a little more prestige. You come strolling up to the table. This is what I roll in.
I like it's loud too because it's all wood.
Oh yeah, it would be a click, clack, clack. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long before you see one shaped like castles? That's my question.
I do like the fact that the display area is surrounded in prison bars.
Yeah, you don't want the dice flying off. Like, I bet there's no felt at the bottom. It's just smashing your poor. These dice weren't that strong either. They're
it's
getting
all
their
wood. It's
corners bashed off, and
it probably doesn't fold up either.
No.
No, today's ones you just clack them together and they like a little Optimus Prime.
Transformers. Pretty 19. I think next year Transformers come out. So
Transformers.
Ooh.
So maybe, and I also on this page there's a D4 that rolls. It's a D8 that they just numbered twice, but it's a new invention. That's all my ads though.
Okay, well that's it for me. What about you, Pat?
I am tapped.
Okay, well then, I think that's it for this this episode. It's been a good one.
It's been a hoot.
It's been a slice.
It's been okay.
Okay. Well, see, we Rob set. I did the feign.
Well,
we both looked at.
We're all
And
coming.
he dropped the ball.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, I didn't know if we were going to mention the weekend.
And he's back there drinking a soda,
Oh, yeah.
about.
Yeah, we can mention that. We just got back from Adepticon. But before we went to Adepticon, in real time, not in whatever year this was, 1983, we went to Lake Geneva. Pat did a little tour of Lake Geneva with us. If you go on the Dragon's Tome Facebook page, you see all the pictures.
That's right.
We went to the Dragonhammer Museum. We saw a bunch of really cool things.
Took pictures of the original Dragon magazines we talked about.
Yep. Saw a lot of original stuff at the cabinets.
We almost froze to death because Lake Geneva in March is freaking cold.
Rob got the roll on the memorial of Gary Gygax and rolled ones.
Yep, I rolled a 1, and Jack got the lounge next to it, so it was good.
I didn't have a dice with me, so I just laid beside it.
I did buy one at the Dragon Hobby Shop, just so I could roll it. Yeah, it was fun. It's I think it's a must for anyone. Go in the summer, or at least not in the cold winter. And yeah, it's we definitely have to get back to play at the Gygax house. We drove by and took pictures, and yeah, we went by the Horticultural Hall and the Playboy Club, which is not Playboy Club anymore. So we saw the classic places. And the funny thing is, the next weekend when we were at Adepticon, GaryCon was on, and they got a blizzard. They got destroyed.
Yes. Yeah, like 8 inches of snow.
Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, so we definitely got to get out there and role play, which I'm sure we'll discuss on future episodes.
All right.
Fun times.
Okay. Well then, how about we wrap this one up? We will see you all next week for another edition of the Dragon's Tome. My name's Jack.
I'm Chopper.
And I'm like, share, and subscribe.
Is that French?
It's my new nom de guerre.
Nom de guerre.
Wait, it is French.